Hello everyone. Okay, so today what we are going to do is we are going to create a banner. This site is read only how it shows here, and wherever we click on documents, testing list, right, or any other folder within, the banner stays there. So this is what we are going to demonstrate today. Before we proceed, there are some things that prerequisites that are required here. So Node.js is what we are going to download. Node.js would be required, so you will click on this link and you will download this Windows installer MSI 64-bit or 34-bit depending upon your system. So this is the first thing that you will do. Then we need one more, and that will be the Visual Studio Code. So we are going to download the Visual Studio Code as well, right? So this is for someone who is the first time they are doing this. So Windows installer, in this, as you can see, this one you will download, small package, you will get it. So after this two, what we will do is we will open command prompt, and in the command prompt we will type node space -v, so that shows my version, right? So I've already installed Node.js, so that is my current version 16.16. oh right. And the next is npm version. I'll show, so mine is 8.150. okay, so there are some commands that we have to install after this. So the first one would be install space -g yo space gulp. So first thing is that we will install gulp, right? I've already installed, so I'm not going to press enter, but this is the first command that you will do after downloading and installing Node.js as well as Windows Studio tool. The next one would be install, right, npm install space g at Microsoft/generator SharePoint. So this is the human generator that we are installing. Okay, SharePoint generator. Okay, so this is done. I already have installed this, so I'm not going to press enter. Okay, let's move on. So after this is done, let's go to the next step. So once I create new one, okay, let's go to the next step. I will delete the existing one that I've created, so that from scratch I can show you guys how it's done. So I'm deleting the current existing one. This site is read only, right? More probably once I create it, this time I'll bring it in the center instead of being at the site, and we'll add some more lines as well. Okay, so there is one more requirement or a prerequisite, is that you need to have app catalog, right? So once you develop the file, the SPFx file, you're going to install it or deploy it on the app catalog. So app catalog is needed. Okay, so if app catalog is already not installed, or you have not enabled on your tenant, what you can do is you can go to more features, and in here you have the option of app. Since I already have the app catalog enabled, it's showing open, right, and it's taking me to the app catalog side. for you it will give you the wizard to actually create the app catalog site. Okay, so that is one of the prerequisite app catalog. If you don't want to enable it on the tenant, you can go to the PowerShell and add -spo site collection app catalog site, and the URL of the site you can give, and the app catalog will be enabled only on that particular site. But that will not be needed. You can enable it on the tenant, because once we upload the application, it does give us the option whether we want it tenant wide or just a site wise, and we can select in there. Okay, so that is deleted, my old one from here. So I'm going to create a new folder here. Banner is what I'm calling my extension, and now from this location we will open command prompt, go to this location, oh, I should have gone in banner directly. That's alright. Let's go to banner now. Okay, we are inside banner, and now we will type code space dot, and that will open Visual Studio Code for us. So we had all the prerequisite done till now, right? After that, this is the first step. So if you already have the environment set up, right, this will be the first command that you will read. Node.js is installed, Visual Studio Code is there, right? So this is the first command, yo at Microsoft/SharePoint. It asks us what is our solution name. I'm going to call it banner, and then extension. In the extension we are actually having 4 options: application customizer, field customizer, list view, command set, form. I'm going for application customizer, obviously, and calling it as banner. Now it is creating our application for us. Meanwhile, let me just get rid of the old one. Let's delete it. So first I'm going to delete it from the site itself. And we can click on remove. It will get removed. Okay, so we would delete it from the recycle bin as well, first stage and second stage, one by one. That process also will do. Okay, so I deleted from the site. Let me delete it from tenant. So tenant deletion is easy. Just you have to right click on it and then delete. It will be removed. So if you just want to remove it from a site collection, that is how you can do it from the site content. If you remove it from the tenant in one go, so this is from where you can do that. Similarly, same process, I'll remove it from the recycle bin, first stage and the second stage as well. So I've deleted it, and we have it ready. So let's open the code in our Visual Studio Code. Code space dot, and this opens the Visual Studio Code for us. So there are a lot of files that you see here, right? I'll explain to you those files maybe once it comes to those, but first we'll write this many files, as you can see. So once we come to those, we'll see. Right now we'll go to our main file, that is src, right? And in this, our main file, so we have manifest.json and .ts. So this is the main file. Okay, so we have the code written, everything is there. So this is what got created. If we want to check what it currently is doing, we can open the terminal, right? So control tilt, we got the terminal, and we can type in gulp serve to test. Before gulp serve, since this is first timer new environment, if they're creating, there is one time command that has to be run, right? That is a gulp space trust dash dev dash cert. So this is a one time command that you have to run for your environment, and not afterwards. TLS SSL security, and once you run that, you can then afterwards directly run gulp serve. So I already have it, so I'll just run gulp serve. And now it is opening in browser, right? So okay, now I'll explain to you the files. So one of the files, this config file, has this serve.json. So in here we have the URLs, which when we try to run it for the gulp services, it will point to those URLs and open that. Right now we can see that contoso.sharepoint.com, both these URLs, right? mypage.axps is what is shown, and same is we can see here. So we can change in that serve.json file, but what I'll do is I'll just make the changes in the URL itself, here itself. Let's change that to the site that we want to check. In the file, I'm leaving it as it is. Okay, wait, I have to remove that my site from there. There is no mypage.axpx. Let's remove that as well. Have home.axpx. Okay, so once we do that, this is what we get, allow debug script. So we will click on load debug script and see what we get. Okay, so this is an alert. So this is the by default out of the box, right? Hello from banner is the name of the application, and application customizer is what we selected, right? And the message that it is giving is test message. So we can see here in the serve.json file it says test message. So that is what is reflecting here. In the URL itself we can change that, and the alert you will see a different one, test plus no plus message, enter, and we can see that it says test no message. So this is a basic alert that if you want to create, so this current code that is there, it is creating an alert, and you can have your own test message what you want. Okay, so this is just the out of the box feature that is available, and since we ran the gulp stuff, I was able to show you the alert. So if you need alerts to be created, this is how you can do to SharePoint framework extension application customizer. In here you can change the default message that you want to give on that alert and use that alert functionality. So now see if this alert is what you would want, and after making the change to the text message you want it to be deployed. So this is how you will do gulp bundle, and then you will type in gulp package solution, right? So gulp bundle dash dash ship, so this will be for production, and then gulp package dash solution space dash dash ship, so this will be packaging the solution for the production. So dash dash ship will be used for production. Once you have that, you will take your SPKG file, that application file, and upload it at the app catalog, which we enabled, right? So this is how we will be doing for our banner as well, so that will be demonstrated. And so this is the article that we are going to use. So there are two placeholders currently, top and bottom. So these are headers and footers, right? Top and bottom that Microsoft is providing in the app customizer, right? We have the alert, and then the header and the footer, the two placeholders. So I will be obviously using only the header, right? You can use this article as well. There is a video if you need it, a good one. So I will not be using the bottom or the footer, the header for my banner one. Okay, so the first one is the Office UI fabric. So this is needed for drop down menus, buttons that you want to put in. So let's install that as well for ours. Next you can see that it goes into the CSS file. I will be coding it into the main file itself, not a separate. It's saying to create a separate .scss file, but I'm not going to do that. We'll code in this file itself. Okay, moving on. So obviously this is also not needed. And then this is add the placeholder content and the placeholder name. So this we will add. So I've used it twice, it already exists, so instead of that we'll just add this two in the existing one, and that is done. Okay, so this is being imported from this one at Microsoft SP application base. So this is another file that you see here among a lot of the files. So this is the node modules file, all the different modules that we have installed that is being packaged in here. We can find all those extensions in here. When we import, it is coming from in here. So if from one tenant to a different tenant we have to move the files, or the application has to be installed on any other tenant as well, right, we can leave this module folder from the file explorer and just package the rest, so it will be not that bulkier. Once you install on the new tenant, based on what is being used in the code, it will get or import those modules automatically. So that something can be done. Okay, so what we have next is import style sheets. That is not needed since CSS we are not doing separately. And we have the top and the bottom. Obviously we will only take the top, the bottom we are not doing, the footer, right? So let's put that property test message string. We will have top, and that will be a string parameter as well, replaced. Done. Now what does the article say next? Okay, so top placeholder and bottom placeholder. Let's copy. So instead of the full thing, we will just take our part, and that is this one. Okay, now let's go. Okay, so now this is the important one, on it function, on init function. So in this one, let's make our changes. Let's copy this and leaving the return promise. Okay, return promise is also will be, we can remove it, and there we have pasted it. Okay, now the next part it says is that you have to create a new random place render placeholder function. So let's copy and let's put it after this on init function. Okay, I think I've pasted the whole thing, but I don't need it. I just need it till the where the bottom starts from here. Yes, let's copy this and put it in our code. There we are. Done. Okay, everything seems fine. 3 errors are showing. Right, we don't need this dev and style since we have not created the CSS file separately. So let's remove this. And now in here we will type our code, what we are looking for. So div style is equals to text dash align. So as I said, I will put this into center this time instead of left side. Background dash yellow, and the height, let's again put it as 50 pixels. Okay, and I wanted to say that this is let's not put a read only this time, let's change it. So this site is archived, right, full stop. You can contact, let's give an email address of the admin that they can contact, and that is it. On dispose dot underscore. Okay, let's remove underscore, seems better. Okay, let's have a go. Let's see what we get. Gulp dot serve, enter. Let's change the URL again, copy. You can obviously do it in the serve.json file so that you don't have to change it like how I'm changing, but I just find it easier somehow. Home, spelling corrected, load debug script. Okay, wait, I have not saved the file. Let's go back, Control S, and it's saying finishing subtask, finishing run task. There's one warning which is there. I'll come to that. Let's refresh this. Okay, some issue. Let's see what it is. Okay, so now we have that. It is aligned at the center. As I said, this side is archived. You can contact, and the email address is there. Issue was the coding of this line. The background dash color was not there. Background dash yellow is what I mentioned there. So that was one, and then the formatting. The dev had too many spaces. The closing one. Okay, closing div. Now it's working in our day. So I've just made one change. I've made it bold so that it's clearly visible. This side is archived, and you can contact. The email address is presented. You can say, you can write whatever you want to write there and display that. So now let's go to the next one. So this time I'll show you how to put it in the production. Gulp build space dash dash ship. That's done. Now let's bundle it. So this is the warning that we are getting because that was not getting used, right? Hopefully we should not get the warning this time. So gulp space bundle dash dash ship. We got the warning again. I think I have not saved the file. Let me save this file this time. Control S, and then let's run the gulp build ship again, and you can see I have not received any warning this time. Warning are fine, by the way. Errors are the issue. So last is the gulp package solution space ship space dash dash ship. Now let's enter. So this is it. We have our application, so we will go into the file explorer, banner, SharePoint solution, and this is our file banner.sppkg. Okay, so this completes all the coding and the testing part, getting the application ready. The prerequisites, all prerequisites are done, and we build our package solution. So see, in the package solution you have this again in the config file above serve.json, right? You in the config file so this is client side instance that you see. Right, so this skip feature deployment true is the one which is taking care of that. Right, so this client side and element side that you see .xml, right? So the client side is for the tenant wide, and element is when you're deploying it just the site collection wise. So by default, as you can see, I have not made any changes. That is true. So it will skip the feature deployment tenant wide. You can leave those two files as it is there, the client side and the element, and dictate that from that skip feature true and false by making that true and false. By Now once I upload it here, we are going to get that option anyways. So let's click on OK. Okay, so as you can see that do you trust banner client-side solution? So yes, the client-side solution you are about to deploy contains full trust client-side code. The component in the solution can and usually do run in full trust, and no resource usage restrictions are placed on them. Right, this client-side solution will get content from following domain. So SharePoint domain is what is going to be applied on. So I actually ran the gulp build bundle and package solution for dash ship, that is for production. If I ran it for without the dash ship, right, just for coding this, instead of SharePointOnline, it would have shown local ID 4321 or whichever port number you put in there. So that's fine. If you want to test, you can test that way, but you do remember that at the back end you would have to keep on running the gulp serve if you are going to test it that way. Okay, so the next one is make the solution available to all sites in the organization. So as you can see, if you tick on that box, it will be available across all the sites. That skip feature deployment, right? True. So that is what it's true. It is skipping that feature deployment, and you can just deploy it and afterwards enable it on the sites that you want to enable. If there is a requirement that you want to enable it across your tenant, then you can click on all the sites of your tenant, then you can click on this box. So let's deploy. Refresh, and let's test it now. So let's close the dev URL and the main URL. Let's refresh. Right, we have to enable on this site, so let's go to our site content, add an app, from my organization, add banner client side solution. So let's add this one, and it's added. So let's go to our home page and check whether we have it or not, and there we go, without any gulp serve running behind and the URL just being the home page. I'm clicking on different links, available list, libraries, and the home page, and we have our banner or the header on the page reflecting what we have wrote in there. So this is how you can deploy site wise or tenant wide, right? So there's one last thing that I have to inform. So for example, if you don't want to have this, some people might have in their organization logo or some copyright that they want to write across, right? So they can deploy it on all the tenant, but not everyone would want. So this is the command that you are going to use, add-bnp custom action, when you don't want to deploy it on all the sites but multiple sites, not one or two, say 100 of the sites you want to do. So you are not going to do it manually, you will do through PowerShell. So title, as you can see, the name is mentioned, the GUID that you are going to mention is this, title and name is mentioned here, that you put it into this command and then you run it. So it will connect to the site and then it will deploy, and this has to be iterated through all the PNP, all the sites one by one. So if you don't know how to iterate, you can put it into a CSV file, all the site URL, and then iterate through one by one all of those sites, and this PNP command will be executed on all of them. So that's how you can enable the extension on multiple sites at one go through PowerShell using that add-bnp content custom action, right? Iterating through all the sites through an CSV file having all the multiple site URLs, right? So This is it. If you don't know, I have another video in which you can see how to iterate through multiple SharePoint sites when a PNP command has to be run, and you can watch that and then iterate through. That is it from my end. Thank you for your time. Have a good day. Bye.